Bit of news, my friend Eli, who's been on the show, is going to start uploading the podcast to different outlets for it to be on. I'm not sure of all the ones he's going to be putting it on as of right now, but I believe iTunes, Spotify, and I think Podbean, just because he's tired of using the YouTube interface to do it with. So those should be coming out soon. I will let you know in descriptions coming up. Hello and welcome to the Whisky Dan radio show. Tonight I have a special guest on. Very special guest. Actually, it's she. That's right. Put women on the show. It only took me 11 episodes, but if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm the infamous girlfriend.
Infamous. No, everybody likes you. Why did you say that?
I'm Ashley. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. Name's Ashley. She's like 5'4", and she has short hair. And I'd do her. I would do her if she'll let me. Maybe, I don't know. Tonight we're drinking Captain Morgan. It's pretty damn good. I was never like a super big fan of rum because I like to drink drinks that hurt me. But rum tastes so damn good. It's hard to not like it. They're just a regular ass Captain Morgan spiced rum. I think it's like $25. How much was it? Maybe 30?
I'm not going to reveal that because that is your graduation present.
No, but you're supposed to tell them so the audience knows.
Oh, well.
Don't you even listen to my show?
I do. It's sad, isn't it? The show, not the...
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I don't remember off the top of my head. It was probably like 25, 30.
25, 30
It's not
bucks.
that expensive
Yeah.
for Captain Morgan.
I mean, it's really good. I personally like just about everything else. I just drink it with just a big cube of ice, and I like it that way. It tastes super sweet. It's really vanilla-y. Vanilla, is that a word?
No.
It's got a lot of vanilla taste to it. My boss, he likes just to drink it with like the rum and like some Dr. Pepper. He says it tastes pretty good. Ashley here is drinking it with a little bit of pineapple juice.
Not just any pineapple juice. Let me lay it down that we were with our friends in Denton one day celebrating our friend's birthday, and Dan decides to grab the Walmart brand pineapple juice.
It was 100% juice.
Our friend nearly slapped that out of his hand and said, what is that shit? And her husband proceeded to say, we're a Dole family. So everything aside, it really is a lot better than the...
It's the same thing.
Dan, no, it's not.
Yeah,
it
is.
really
No,
isn't.
it's like $1.50 cheaper.
Okay, yeah, but it just tastes better. You get what you pay for.
It just tastes better. Is that their tagline?
That should be the slogan. It just tastes better.
Yeah, so that's you're paying for that. I think it's just a thing in your brain that tells you that like, oh, you spent more on it, so you like it's got to be better.
It tastes more fresh than what the was it 2-liter bottle that you get?
Yeah, the
No.
2-liter bottle that was half the cost of the
No,
6-pack of cans.
It doesn't taste as good.
Whatever.
Just like regular like Minute Maid or
we were mixing it
Hold on.
with shitty vodka. What does it matter?
What are we talking about now? I'm on orange juice.
Yeah,
orange
we
juice.
were
Hold
buying
on.
the juice to mix with the vodka. Why does it make any difference how good the juice is?
Okay, first of all, it wasn't vodka. We were mixing it with Malibu rum, and that's important. And
Jesus.
And I was saying that Dole is like Texan. Texan orange juice is way better than Minute Maid or any other brand name that you can come up with. Texan is better.
Okay, well, why don't you ever buy Texan then?
Because it's not as easy to find. They come in the small cans.
They got it at
pisses me
Brookshire's.
off. Oh, okay. That's the problem about Texan and Dole is you can only find them in these small ass cans or the really big ass cans that you have to take a can opener to. It doesn't come in convenient bigger ones.
Just open the can up and put it in a pitcher. Because I guess I'm a fucking 80-year-old grandpa, I like to buy the juice that comes in like the frozen concentrate. And then you mix in like 3 cans of water and you put it in a pitcher. It's the same thing.
I know, but like I'm not the type that I'm going to drink it out of a pitcher because then it's going to go sour really fast. I'm the type that likes to just take, a can to work in the morning to drink. But this is just a tiny
drink
ass
juice
thing.
every day. It'd be fine.
He's not understanding.
Whatever. Anyway, there's this Riff Raff song called Juice, right? And y'all ought to check it out. Also, you need to check out that Chop, Not Slop version of it. It's on Riff Raff's Greatest Chops. It's called Juice.
There's also a Lizzo song called Juice.
No, who's that?
I'm signing off.
No, who's that?
She's just a new up-and-coming artist.
Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to know new. I listen to music that's older than me, usually. I'm not going to know about up-and-coming artists, except for Billie Eilish. Is that how you say it? Is that how the cool kids, is that what the cool kids listen to?
No. Stop it.
Billie Eilish. Like, I don't have a problem with the way, like, I don't have a problem with the music. It's just like she doesn't sing. She just like kind of all the words, you know what I mean? So you're just.
Okay, but can you do that and stay on key and have a really beautiful tone?
Okay, probably not.
Good pitch. No, it's still a talent. And the way that she approaches her music and the art of it is different than what other people are doing. So, and not only that, but she has this very soft and airy voice.
No.
But what she sings about is just very off compared to what she is.
It's
and the way she looks and she dresses and she creates her own style line. It's just very unique. It's not like every other person. And you can also tell she's a homeschool kid.
Yeah,
you know,
especially for like,
she's
homeschooled?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, just look at her.
Fucking weirdo. No, but like, that makes sense though, because in terms of like all the other pop stars, like a lot of them have like that Taylor Swift kind of like following suit to like that kind of like bouncy, springy, happy, girly music. Her music is anything but girly. Like, really. I mean, other girls like it, but.
Well, and like, it's really controversial because, I mean, her one song, which most everyone knows, is called "Bury a Friend," and some people think it alludes to how do you say XX Tentacion?
Oh, XXX Tentacion.
Tentacion. Okay.
R.I.P.
I think that was her friend, and some of her fans were saying that they think that she wrote this song about him because he, died young, but
he was murdered.
He died young, and it was basically bury a friend. And then in the song, she sings, "I want to end me," over and over and over again. And she's so young, and she's appealing to a young crowd. And it's just a very dark and sinister song. But that's not the only one that's like that. There's a lot of other ones. And even if you watch her music videos, it's just very, very dark, but also trying to be very forward in facing fears. Like, she's really with spiders. You ever see like a lot of the spider
well, like
things
she had that one thing. She was like, she has like those pet tarantulas. She's like, they like to be in like a warm, moist place, so I just put them in my mouth, like wop.
Yeah, and she just lets them. And see, that's not me. But
what is that, like a fucking furry, like glomps you, daddy?
Oh God.
Speaking of which, it's August, so it's hotter than an orgy at a furry convention right now. So I'm really fucking tired of it. Like, August is the hottest month of the year in Texas, and it fucking sucks. I don't like to go outside and then just immediately get taint sweat. How do you feel about taint sweat?
Well, I work in a hospital, so
do you have to deal with taint sweat?
I deal with a lot of other people's taint
That's
sweats.
what I meant. Like, have you like wiped? Like, okay, so Ashley here is an occupational therapist assistant, which, if you don't know what that is, it's just like nursing.
Really? You just gave away my entire identity because there are not that many people out there.
Oh, no.
Oh, well. I'm exposed, all out there and alone. Sorry, go ahead. How were you going to introduce me?
I was going to say occupational therapy is just like nursing.
Fuck
There's
you.
no difference at all. No discernible difference.
Because this is not my podcast, I will not get on my soapbox.
No.
Especially for the sake of time.
We have an hour, and also Max went on a rant for 10 minutes about a song written before the American Civil War. So if you want to...
Okay, well, occupational therapy... Shut up. Occupational
therapy... Do you
therapy...
see why I drink now?
is really important. A lot of people think, oh, isn't that just like physical therapy? And yes, we do overlap and we work together, and it's pretty great. Physical therapy is important because it's working on overall body strength, working on transfers and mobility and gait and just getting you up and walking again. So we work in the hospital, so it's an acute setting. We see patients really fast in and out, and we see
like acute isn't like small, like acute, like
like small as
it's
in
a
a
person
short
who
time.
doesn't have a leg anymore.
Stop.
Oh, okay.
But so we see a lot of things come through. Our hospital is mainly focused on trauma and strokes, but we see everything. We see neuro. We just see a lot of it. You can think of it. We probably have seen it. And so physical therapy is working on patients being rehabilitated to where they can walk again. But occupational therapy works more on the ability to take care of yourself. Your occupations, that's why it's called occupational therapy. Your occupations, it's not helping you find a job, God forbid, which we can do that, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Occupational therapy focuses on your daily occupation. So that may be dressing, that may be bathing, that may be brushing your teeth, fixing lunch in the morning, taking care of your kids, a dog, all the things that you have to do throughout the day to live and have a good quality of life. Those things are sometimes taken away after we see injury or we see disease. So our job is to come in and help you relearn and rehabilitate to your prior level of function as best as we can get you there. So like say a stroke, you have one side of the body that's not going to be able to work as well anymore. We're going to work on strengthening, we're going to work on dressing, we're going to work on being able to readapt to whatever you need, whether it's to brush your teeth, like I said, or to eat and be independent.
Okay, but like hypothetically, let's say that you get a patient who's like a chronic masturbator. And he can't, like, he's got, like, something wrong with his arms. And he's like, no, like, I need to come. Like, you understand, like, do you have to, like, jerk him off or?
You see why I drink, guys?
No, I mean, that's a normal question.
Well, I wouldn't deal with that. While occupation.
But would somebody up there, like, have to jerk him off?
Are you asking if somebody would have to jerk him off?
Yeah.
Or hold on, I think I missed the question. So you need to come back and rephrase that for a minute.
Like the patient is a chronic masturbator. Like he has to masturbate. And then what if it's just like, you know, he can't use his arms for the time being, and then like he like can't function like unless he like comes. Like does somebody have to go in there and like give him a hand?
That isn't a thing.
How do you know? We live in a world of infinite possibilities. It could be a thing.
That isn't a thing. And you know what? On a side note, occupational therapy can help with, you know, getting back into sex, depending on, you know, if you still want to be active, if, you know, like disease, say a stroke or something has caused problems, and you're wondering, how do I get back to that? Well, it's probably not my first focus in the hospital. Eventually in rehab, that's something you can ask about. So, because that's important. That's an occupation. That's an occupation for me. That's an occupation for you.
No, I mean,
it'd be really sad one day if like you woke up and you know you couldn't get it up, or you know, or you could get it up but you really couldn't, you know, utilize
slam it in
because of you know,
in
you lost two
the
legs.
ham.
I don't know. It's working like, so say of like paraplegics, they can still have sex. So it's a matter of finding what works for you. And so an occupational therapist, not that that's what we are ready to talk about, but sometimes you will get asked the question, well, what if I still want to be active?
Yeah.
That's going to happen to me eventually. I get hit on at the hospital 24/7. I don't know if it's just because I'm probably the youngest there. I don't know if I just set myself up for it, which I don't know how.
I think you walk into it a lot.
How do I walk into it?
Just by saying things without really thinking of the ramifications of what a dirty old man's going to come up with.
Okay.
You're dating me, for God's sake. You really don't know how to...
Should I tell him the story?
Yeah, you can tell.
So I saw this patient. He was this older guy from a close hometown near our other hometown. So it's very recognizable. Looked to be about Dan and I's parents, our parents' age. Like in their 50s. And so he seemed very nice. He told me, "Oh, you're cute as a button." Was very nice, like an older gentleman would be, and so I took no mind to it. Saw him several different times. Well, he moved to a different floor. He was in the ICU. He moved to the cardiac floor. So I go up, and I notice his name on my list to treat him. So I go up, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" And he's like, "Great, it's good to see you." And I told him what my plans were. My plans were to walk him over to the sink, have him stand and work on grooming tasks so that he can work on his endurance and his overall strength. Well, he said, "Well, that's great and everything, but because I'm out of the ICU now, nurses have been helping me get to a shower." And I had remembered that this guy, when he came into the hospital, he was really dirty. It looked like he had just been working out in his shop all day. Like he hadn't even washed his hands until I helped him wash his hands. So I figured, okay, well, that's very meaningful, purposeful for him. That's part of my job. Let me go ahead and do it. But me, not thinking how I word things, I said, "Okay, well, instead of taking a shower with the nurses, do you want to just take a shower with me today?"
Oof.
And he looked at me and he said, "You bet your ass I do." And it all went downhill from there. But of course, Ashley, being, the kind, considerate person I am, thinking, okay, well, I already gave him a promise. I've got to follow through with it. So this man, he has vertigo. He had what was called a pica stroke. So it affected his balance. And so he had vertigo too. Okay. And so this man should not have been standing because I helped him to the shower with a rolling walker. That's good. That's fine. But standing barefoot on a wet, slick surface while you have balance issues and I can't put a gate belt around you because you're butt-ass naked is not a good idea. But here we go. So I'm trying to kind of hold the curtain halfway so he can shower. But this man is insisting on standing after I tell him not to several times. So I have to put my hand on his bare ass back to try and give some kind of false sense of hope for me and him that we're not going to fall and I'm not going to have to fill out some paperwork, right? But all's fair. Everything works out. We take him back to the bed. And this man, as I'm trying to shove myself out the door, he's like, "Oh, wait, come back. I'm going to rehab tomorrow. You need to come give me a hug. I'm not going to see you again." And so me being like, I can't tell him no. So I go in and I say, "Oh, okay." And I just go in for a side hug thinking that's all right. He's already laying in bed. This man puts me in a half Nelson. And not only that, he kisses my neck. And it's not like a quick, cute little grandfather peck on the cheek. This man kisses me on the neck twice. Those lingering, wet, sloppy kisses that I had to push him off. It was disgusting. I nearly ran out the room.
There's a lot of horny old men in these hospitals, man.
Yeah. And then another one.
Don't go to a hospital. They'll rape you.
Another one touched my tits the other day. And said,
Damn.
"I'm not touching your titties." Well, yeah, you are.
Too bad you can't just punch him. Like, if you were like a bartender, you could just punch him.
Although, he's kind of confused, so I'll give him a pass.
That's fair.
He rubbed my leg the other day, and I said,
"That's weird.
You shouldn't do that." And he said, "Oh, well, I'd like to rub something else."
You want to go kick his ass? I'll fucking do it. I'll beat the shit out of an old man in a hospital, but I don't give a fuck. No,
he's probably got tuberculosis now, so I think something's already kicking his ass.
Oof. What you could do next time somebody does that, you could just go, like, there you go, problem solved.
He could barely move. No. There's no possibility.
Yeah, but it'll still, make him shit himself or something. So that's the hospital for you. Fun fact about hospitals. I learned that hospitals today are not what they were in, the early 1800s. That's where crazy people went to get, quote-unquote, worked on by doctors. By quote-unquote doctors. That was back when house calls were a thing. But I think it was the First World Wars when people changed their perception on, like, what a hospital is and how people can use it to be rehabilitated and stuff like that. So now we have the hospital of today where most people are born and die in. What do you feel about, like, a live birth, like, at the house?
At the house?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, like people that have, like, their kids, like, in a bathtub.
No, we're not seahorses. No. Like, hold on.
Did the male carry the baby?
Huh?
Did the male seahorse carry the baby?
The woman. The female seahorse, I believe, has the babies, but the male carries it. Like, I think, like, kind of like in a pouch or something.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
Like a marsupial.
Don't quote me on that. I don't know anything. I'm not a marine biologist. I just work at the hospital.
Hoorah. Different marine.
No, I'm not for that. But that's just me because, you know, I obviously work in a hospital, and working in the hospital, I see all the potential problems that could arise. Because while you may have a midwife, yes, but if you don't have, we don't live in that time where you just couldn't go to a hospital.
Yeah, like it's like, especially like if you live like in the city. If you live in the damn city, you have no excuse to not go to the hospital and have your kid like, oh, I'm trying to save money. It's like, listen, most people don't clean their bathtubs enough.
I'm not even just like, you can have a natural birth if you choose to not have.
I think all births natural.
Let me rephrase for this dick. So,
Oof.
If you choose to have a natural birth without drugs for your comfort, that's up to you. You can still do that in the hospital where they have the ability to take care of you if something were to happen where the baby wasn't progressing or you were developing preeclampsia, things like that. That's just not something that's as feasible if you decide to have your baby in good old Hawken, Texas, where it's like, what, 45 minutes out?
Well, no, it's about 30. Well, no, because there's the one right there on 271. That's like 20 minutes away.
I wouldn't go to that one. But anyway, yeah, that's just not me. And if at all possible, if and when I decide to have kids, I'm getting induced. I'm not waiting
Wow.
for them.
No, okay, hang on.
That way it's
Wait.
safer. I'm
Okay,
just like, all right, the baby's coming out today.
Is it, well, okay, yeah, induce, like, labor, you mean?
Yeah.
For some reason I thought you
Oh,
meant,
if you're
like,
full term.
Yeah, but I thought for some reason it was like, I don't know why my brain just kind of slipped. I was thinking like the numbing thing.
Uh-huh.
Where like, oh, I'm just going to get epidural. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think that's, and granted, like, I'm a dude, so I don't really know how I'm supposed to weigh in on this situation on epidurals because
You're not. But continue.
it's my show, and I'm going to weigh in on it. Cause,
I was saying like in the future, if you're trying to tell me whether or not I can take an epidural, it's my body. I will choose an epidural
but
if I choose.
like, let's just say like if you have to have like a C-section, that's different. But it's just like a normal like vaginal birth, like, oh, you're dilating and the baby's coming. You're like, I want my stuff numb so it don't hurt as bad. Like, isn't the kid gonna grow up to be like a little fucking pussy though? Because like he wouldn't, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just like
No.
You know, and then like once you like not love the kid as much because you didn't have to go through as much when you had the kid. I'm just like hypothetically speaking. I just think it's a theory that we could test. What?
No.
Whatever. I'm just saying. Epidural needles are fucking long as shit, though.
How do you know?
I've seen one.
Were you like watching your mother have an epidural?
No, but I saw him prepare the stuff, and I looked at the nurse, and she was like, that long. And it reminded me of the $5 foot long commercials.
Not that long.
No, okay, not
they
a foot
really
long.
are not that long.
It's like 8 inches. And I would know 8 inches.
It's not 8 inches.
Just double the size.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's a size. I mean, it's a long enough needle.
Well, yeah, because it has to.
It goes like
it's
in
a
your
nerve
spine.
block. That's what it is.
Fucking like, I don't want a needle in my spine.
Yes, you do. Have you ever felt childbirth? No, you will never have to.
I don't have to.
See,
because
my mother.
I'm a man, and you know what? God wanted women to do that because Eve was dumb whore.
So.
Whore.
My mother was 39 and 42 when she had my siblings. So we're 15 and 17 years apart. So my sister's 5 now, my brother's 7. I watched my brother be born. And then I learned very quickly when my sister was born that I was going to move closer to her head so I didn't have to watch everything again.
Was that like Omaha Beach? Just like blood?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I really should never have seen my mother that way. And I don't think any husband, spouse, lover, whoever they are, should see their wife that way, because I feel like that would ruin the intimacy. You know,
Would it?
or maybe I don't know. Depends on how strong of a character you are. For me,
Or depends on your type.
ain't nobody fucking looking at my snatch when I'm popping out a kid. Okay. So what's funny is my mother told me that when I was born in like.
She told me to pick the very best one.
Shut up. I think I was born in some Catholic church in Dallas, but anyway.
Dallas. Salah.
My mother, she said that the doctor rolled in this rolling mirror. And my mom said, this is before, like, you know, she's in the stirrups and everything. She's like, what's that for? And the doctor said, oh, I figured you wanted to watch. And she said, if the good Lord wanted me to watch you to put my eyeballs down by my thighs.
That's a good point to make. But I don't know. I guess some women would want to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Fuck that shit.
But no,
that is some visceral shit.
Yeah. So, like, and my mother, she has scoliosis right where they put the epidural in. It's just a very small. Yeah. So she said they reportedly missed twice with me, and she decided to do it natural. And then she realized as soon as the first few contractions hit, she was like, she's like, you better get this person back in here right now. But with my brother, it went fine. A few sticks later, and then with my sister, they got it, but they only got one half of her body, so the other half she could feel everything.
That's funny. Yeah, my brother had a cesarean section, and my sister had one too. I was the only one that had a vaginal birth, and he just gave my mom some Tylenol 3s, and like, this will help take the edge off of it. And she's like,
have an epidural with you?
Not
with your big ass head.
The only time she had an epidural was when she had the C-section. She was like, oh, I don't know, it's fine, I don't need one or whatever. Like, oh, just give her these Tylenols. Okay. And like, you know, I'm coming. She's like, this ain't taking the edge off of shit, you know. So
yeah, because your big ass head was ripping through her vagina.
My brother was actually bigger.
Really?
But he was a C-section.
Yeah, but his head shaped a little different than yours. Yours is a big ass cue ball head.
It's like a volleyball head.
God, I think that's another reason why I don't think we should have kids. Is like
that's not for you to decide.
No, you know what?
It's 2019. The man still decides.
We can
adopt. I don't want no black kid.
All right, then I'm telling this man right now. Look, you're gonna have to take this cesarean only because this fucker's head is not coming out of my snatch.
Actually, I would be okay with adopting black kids and just, you know, hoping that they're just like athletic as fuck. And like, that's my white dad. And like, I'm gonna go play in the NFL. And it's like, you make me proud, son. You know. So.
That's I have no comment for that.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not against adopting, but like, if everything works for me and everything works for you, what's the point in adopting?
I mean,
like, it shouldn't adopting be like left to the people who like want kids but can't have them due to medical reasons?
Yeah, medical reasons, as in I don't want an episiotomy because of your big ass kid's head.
Okay, for the audience, can you not make up words, please?
Would you like me to tell you what an episiotomy is?
Yeah, because I don't know what it means.
It's when the baby rips the vagina.
Ow.
And they have to suture it back.
Zzz.
Not the whole thing, but
it rips.
Shit. It rips down.
Ah!
Yes,
like
towards the anus, yes.
Oh, so you just turn it like a one hole? Is it
I
like what a chicken has, like a cloaca?
I'm sorry, what? You need to quit making up words.
No. It's a real body part, like on like birds, because you know, like how in humans we have like a butthole and we have like a pee hole, and then women, you know, have their vagina, but it's all three different holes, right? Well, in a chicken, it's all just funnels into one hole. So like they're egging, shitting, and pissing all out the one hole, and taking some chicken dick in there. So it's all one hole.
You want to know something very awkward? What? I didn't know that girls, me being a girl, had three holes until I was in high school. I thought that our vagina and our urethra were together. Because it's very small. You can't really see, you know, your urethra.
That's a fair point.
So, and it's kind of hidden because women, we have lots of folds and flaps. So, I mean, and then I have to take a dentist mirror down there to shave. So, it's not like I sat there and like, you know, looked at my anatomy, nor did I, anytime I opened an anatomy book or any health science book and I saw a vagina, I quickly closed the book because I was very shy and awkward about those things.
Was that how you knew that you weren't gay?
I just knew I just didn't feel comfortable with that.
I didn't mind looking at like pictures of dicks. I like looking at nice dicks. Like a nice dick. Like not like some like nasty old like greasy cock. I'm like, oh, like that, like that's a pleasurable looking penis. Mine
I
doesn't
don't
look
think
anything
you
like
should
that.
use the word pleasurable and penis and no, I don't think that should have went together.
We're on the Whisky Dan show, regardless of the genders on it. We still talk about dicks a lot. Well, okay, this is one thing that I think is really funny. Men talk so much more about like titties and booty, you know, even though like we can't necessarily fuck them. I guess you could butt fuck, but I'm not gonna recommend that for anyone.
You could titty fuck too.
You can, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like,
I mean, it doesn't work with mine because mine aren't double D's.
yeah, like, so like,
I have a few friends I think that would
yeah, that might work. But no, like, I think it's funny like how much just like, especially during like bachelorette parties, like women just like talk about dicks, and like everything's always like a dick shape.
say dicks again.
Dick. But you know what I mean? It's like over the fucking top. Like you don't go to like a bachelor party and everything's like pussy shaped.
So, well, you know what's funny is I've only been to one bachelorette party, and that was
Everything was dick shaped.
not just dick shaped. Like, okay, so they made center, and keep in mind, this girl, she was 19 at the time, and her fiance was 18, and of course the marriage didn't last. But the mother had created her whole like setup, and the centerpieces were these foam cutouts that you can tell that they personally made, and they all look different. So they took the time to create different looking not only penises but vaginas. I'm talking like open labia vaginas.
Good
So
Lord, that's
yeah, it was very awkward. I mean, I had made like a naked man poster that I drew, but I put a star where his dick should be. And
I
of
remember
course,
you drawing that, but it was like a cartoon.
yeah, it was a cartoon.
Yeah,
and
that's fine. Yeah, like yeah,
her
like
mother put it on the wall, and then she took 2 pink balloons for the nutsack, and then made a longer balloon for the dick, and then it was pop the dick, not like pin the dick.
yeah, like,
on the male, which I thought that was the goal.
Yeah.
It was like popping it. I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense.
yeah, because like I thought it was like you know, pin the dick on the stud or something like that. You know, it's not pop the dick. Jesus Christ, that's fucking brutal.
I don't remember any of the other games we played except for the one that I won at. And I mean, what they did was they tied these hot dogs on a string right in front of all of us sitting in a row. And we were supposed to see who could eat it faster. And Ashley won. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. All the other girls were like very like, oh, I'm just going to bite it. And I'm like, nah, bitch.
I'm in it to win. Just like tears running down. I got like mascara. All
They all just like dropped their jaws and looked at me. And Annette's mother was just like, Ashley won.
What could I say? I know what I'm doing. No, I had this thought today. Like, have you ever been watching like just like some like hardcore porn? Just like we're
all
like
the time.
Yeah, all the time, incessantly. But like, if you're just like watching just like porn, you're like, I wonder what the relationship with her father's like.
No, I think you have this weird fixation on that. Every girl who is sexual in any way, especially like rough sex, has daddy issues.
I think
and that transcends and projects towards me, y'all, and it's not cool. Yeah, I don't have a dad in the picture, but I don't have daddy issues, okay?
Well, I guess you can't really have daddy issues if you don't have one.
No, that's the entire reason why you have daddy issues. The
I
lack
mean,
thereof.
like you could have a dad in the picture, but he's like an abusive shithead.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like that would be a daddy issue. Like it's like, oh, you can't have car issues if you don't have a car.
No, you still have car issues. Like the car issue is the absence thereof.
No. So did you wish you had a dad?
We're not getting into this emotional debate. Like, God, you're such a dick. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Well, we drink on this show, and that's what happens.
You haven't even had that much.
I've had 2.
That isn't even a lot for you.
Not yet. I don't know.
Damn alcohol.
I think it's the Razzoos. We had Razzoos tonight. I'm so fucking full still.
That has nothing to do with you being
so
a
good.
dick.
It was so good though. I paid for it.
I paid for it.
I did. I don't even work in a hospital.
I just dropped a hot piece of cash on my tuition that I paid out of pocket. So,
But wouldn't you rather pay your tuition now rather than taking out loans? And
well,
having to
yeah,
pay it
there's
off
no
later?
sense if I can pay it off now.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, but it did take a good chunk out of my bank account though, so I'm kind of like,
No. It's like she could have either paid tuition or she could have helped me buy a Ford Bronco. And I'm like, she's like, I have to pay for these other things that are important. I'm like, look, lady, you got to get your priorities straight.
well, it was either, shut up. It was either pay it in full or it was
They have like
pay
a
an
payment
extra
plan.
$35 or $45 to set up a payment plan where I had like almost $1,000, literally almost $1,000 that I paid for the next 3 or 4 months. So it's just like, well, what the fuck, you know? I mean,
yeah,
might
if you
as well
have the
just
money, go ahead and spend
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
It's just cheaper. Not by much. I mean, I guess it would have been more convenient that way if I wanted to be able to save more. But in hindsight, I wouldn't have.
Well,
so.
or like let's say you just didn't have enough to cover it all, like right then and there.
Right.
But you were gonna have it in the future.
So.
Well, that's typically anytime you finance something, they tack on a couple $100 just because like they're taking a risk in you not being able to pay it
Yeah.
back. Like,
And really, it's very cheap in retrospect, looking back at it. Like $35 to $45 to set up, a payment plan of like $980 something a month.
oh yeah,
you know?
it's not bad at all.
Expecting you to pay it,
See, because I had a tooth pulled in December, and Ashley knows this, but I had a tooth pulled because it was a bad wisdom tooth. I had to get it out, and I never got it. And they set me up on a payment plan, and it was only going to be, I think, because I wound up paying like $1,300 to get this damn tooth pulled. Right? It was like $600 to get it pulled, $400 for anesthesia, then $300 to put it on a payment plan. And the payment plan. Like had I paid for it all like right then and there, like in cash or like with a check, would have been like just over $1,000. But I didn't want to cough up $1,000 at the time, so I wanted putting on a payment plan, and now I have great credit because of it, because it's almost paid off, and I've never missed a payment. Yeah, don't miss a payment. That is the advice to leave with this show. Don't ever miss a payment. It's not worth it. The banks will get you.
Oh, yeah, because then you're just caught constantly trying to catch up.
Or just declare bankruptcy. You could do that, and you just can't get a loan for like 10 years, and your credit's shot.
Yeah, my mother did that. We're in the process of that.
My parents did that, but they paid off their house. So
yeah. So, and then you just have to play nice and make sure you be good for a good while. Not that you shouldn't, be good, but you know what I mean.
So here's a thing I've been wanting to talk about is if you could explain to the audience
Oh God.
why you don't like Led Zeppelin.
I just never got into them. It's just not that great to me, in my opinion. Can you explain to the audience why you never got into Kiss? Oh, wait. I already know your audience, so none of them fucking like Kiss.
Well, okay, I don't like Kiss because it's like...
I know why you don't like Kiss.
It's just...
Because honestly, if I didn't like Kiss, I mean, I wouldn't like Kiss if I...
Try to get into them now?
Yeah, but because I was introduced to them as a young kid, that's just...
I guess that's fair.
What I grew up with, what I like.
Yeah, but she never grew out of it, though.
I mean, occasionally I listen to it and I'm like, oh God, that's so cheesy. Love Gun. So he's just basically talking about his dick. But I mean,
I do that all the time.
But I think the cheesiness just makes it great because I'm just like, man, like they have so many fans, and and I know it should have been cheesy back then too.
It was.
But you know what? It's just they came up on the scene with something different, and they made a lot of money, and they're actually really good. And you know what? What I do appreciate is that Paul Stanley, who is the lead singer of Kiss, if you are not aware, it has such a distinct voice that I could, pick it out from a crowd. There's no other singer like it. Led Zeppelin, it's not terrible. There's one song I do like, and I can never remember what it's called.
In Through the Outdoor.
No, that's not it.
Thought it was.
No, it's something Love. It plays on the radio occasionally.
Whole Lot of Love.
No, it's not Whole Lot of Love. God, I hate that song. Between that and Cashmere, Just
How do you not like Whole Lotta Love?
it's overplayed. It's
You
overdone.
need cooling, baby. I'm not fooling.
It's just not my thing.
I'm gonna send you
It's kind of more the song that I like with
back to school.
Led Zeppelin. It's because I didn't realize it was
Sorry.
Led Zeppelin because it sounded different. It was more of a, I wouldn't say jazzy. It was more of a bluesy.
Well, a lot of their music is blues music. They just adapted it to, be 70s heavy metal.
I'm gonna look it up.
My favorite Led Zeppelin song is When the Levee Breaks. Like, oh man, it's such a good jam. It's like 7 minutes long though, but man, is it good. If you haven't listened to When the Levee Breaks, or if you have listened to it, you just hadn't in a hot minute, you need to put that shit on real quick. Stuff is good. I think one of the bands that I've been getting back into a lot lately is Alice in Chains. And I think it's just because like my mom listened to them a lot when I was a kid, and now I listen to them and they're just really good. And I'm like, I don't know, like you ever just like listen to a band and you're like, this is it, Chief. Like this is fucking it. You're like, I wish more people like this. But then again, part of me is like, I'm glad that more people don't like this because if everybody liked it, I probably wouldn't.
Okay, exactly. And so, like, when I'm sitting in my office at work today, begging my coworkers to go to a Kiss concert with me because it's their final tour.
Quote unquote.
Okay, well, they're almost 70s. In their 70s. So, I mean, it's so important that I go because I can, even if I'm $35 tickets in the nosebleeds and they're like tiny ants, I can say, hell yeah, I saw Kiss. That's
you
cool.
Can die happy.
I can. I mean, my freaking coworker Heather, I mean, I wish this was a possibility for us too, Dan and I, but she's at the point in her life, with her and her husband and her job, that they are just able to make a spontaneous decision. Next weekend, she made the plans today to fly to Miami next weekend on Friday. And then they're going to stand in line for the Rolling Stones concert and try and buy tickets from a scalper so that she can get it cheaper for what they were online.
I mean, best of luck to them. Hopefully they get some satisfaction out of their trip.
I can't get no. Da-na-da-da-da.
I was just that song the other day, and I'm like, man, it's such like a easy song to play for the most part because it's just like it's that one guitar lick and like the one drum beat through like the whole damn thing. I'm like, it's so catchy. It's so damn catchy. I guess that's why it got so popular. There's a lot of other better Rolling Stones songs out there.
Yeah, I would definitely go to a Rolling Stones concert, but I don't feel like going bankrupt. And also, like, someone told me, oh, well, because I had mentioned that it was Kiss's last tour. And granted, I know they've said that a couple other times. Yeah. But because of their age, you really never know, when it really is going to be. So if you have the chance, go, whatever your band is. But they were like, well, the Stones are older. I'm like, the Stones have drank from some immortal fountain, I'm convinced, because how the fuck is Keith Richards still alive after all the shit he's done?
All the heroin. Maybe it acted like a preservative for like his heart.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, and it's so stupid because like people like that live. I mean, I'm sure he has a lot of health problems that he deals with, but he has the money to deal with it. But like he's still alive. And then I have some patients that have been good and didn't do any drugs or didn't drink alcohol, were really healthy, and then they just get the shit card in life, and they just don't.
Well, maybe we should just do heroin.
You know what? Maybe we should do it. Oh, by the way, "Fool in the Rain."
That's the Zeppelin song.
Yeah, because it's like the one that goes da 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 da.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know.
I like that one because it just doesn't, like, when I was listening to it on the radio, I couldn't see who sang it, and I was just listening to it as it came on, and I was like, oh, this kind of sounds cool, and then I heard that it was Led Zeppelin. I'm like, fuck.
Damn it, I actually like one. He was right. No, one more thing. Well, we got a little bit. I think we can hit two more topics maybe. Football season's warming up. We just wrapping up. Today's Friday, right? Yeah. So they're about to be in week 3 of preseason for all the games. So we got one more week of preseason, and then it starts the regular season. Right. And I know you're not super into football, but if you had to pull for a team, it'd be the Saints, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I
mean, I watch it. I don't really watch preseason.
No,
and
most
typically
people
when
don't. I don't even watch preseason.
I go home to my parents. My mom's a huge Saints fan. We always have been a Saints fan, even when I was younger. Like, we were huge fans even before they hit the Super Bowl. But when I go home, it's typically a Sunday, so we'll sit, we'll watch the game while we're doing whatever we're doing. Yeah. So, but continue. Sorry.
But what is it going to take for you to just be able to start your Sunday at like noon and watch a noon game, like a 3:30 game, and then the night game? Just like watch 3 football games in their entirety.
My problem is I have things to do in my life. Like, I just don't have time to sit down and like if I could put it on the background while I'm like cleaning the apartment or doing something else productive, because I'm about to start school too, so there's that too.
I made time. Gotta make time for football.
I mean, I was doing my homework during the Super Bowl. Granted, I didn't give 2 shits about the Super Bowl.
Disgusting.
And then after, after the whole terrible, the halftime show that we won't speak of.
What happened? What was halftime? I don't even remember. Was it the one with Big Boy, the dude from Outkast?
Do you really not remember?
I remember the game. I don't remember the halftime show. I never remember halftime
Remember,
show.
like, everybody talked about, because the creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, just died. God. And everybody was like, oh, you should do the Bubble Bowl. You should reference you should reference it. You should be a good person. And they do a tiny bit at the very beginning. And then I don't even think they let SpongeBob sing. It just went straight into, not Psycho, was it or was it Psycho?
I don't.
This is Travis guy. I don't even know this guy because
Travis Scott.
Yeah, it was Travis Scott, because I don't give 2 shits about this guy. But it was that because there's those 2 songs, is Mo Bamba and was it the other one that everyone talks about? Which one is better, Mo Bamba or Psycho? Is it Psycho?
No, it wasn't Psycho. Hang on.
Fuck.
Yeah, well, Mo Bamba wasn't his song. That was some other dude. Let me just.
But it went straight into the Travis Scott song, and I was like, I'm done. Turn the fucking TV off. Yeah. And then even Adam, I was very disappointed in Adam Levine too, because I was like, you had your chance.
Sicko mode, and that's the Travis Scott song. And by the way, that song fucking blows. If you think that was like your fucking summer 2018, summer 2019 shit, you get the fuck out of here. That song was trash. Like, if you're going to listen to rap, it's got to be coming out of H-Town. They got to chop and screw it. Or you got to be listening to something from, like, UGK or, like, some Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? Not this fucking new age mumble rap shit. Okay, the other day, I'm on my way to work, right? I'm on my way to fucking work. It's like 7:45 in the fucking morning, right? And there's this like, maybe she was in high school, maybe a little bit older, but it was definitely like some daddy's money Wrangler Jeep that had no doors on it, and she's listening to like some Travis Scott, like some trippy red mumble rap fucking horse shit. Oof. And I felt so fucking old because I was like, that's not even music! It's not even real music. Like, I never felt so fucking old in my life. This actually happened to me on a Tuesday. This happened Tuesday morning.
This is a disclaimer. You're only 23.
I was just so fucking livid about that. Like, why aren't you listening to like Alice in Chains or like Nirvana or just something that has substance? I hate mumble rap. Mumble rap and country music are dog shit.
Well, I think that some of our parents probably think that, that the same way about Nirvana, because a lot of Kurt Cobain's stuff is screaming and his lyrics don't really make sense.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Nirvana. I was listening to it today while I'm doing my notes at work. But, like, there's always going to be a time where, the older person thinks, okay, my music,
but
my genre. But
the problem is, I'm not that much older than them.
I know.
Hell, there's people that are my age that are like, oh, dude, I really vibe with this music. Well, I really wish you'd get the fuck out. I'm tired of looking at you in your face.
That's all it is culture.
Well,
our cultures are different, obviously, because I mean, we're not going to go into it, but the culture between you and whoever you were, observing is different.
Well, I think what bothered me the most is that like you get these rich white suburban kids wanting like praising like the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they have no idea.
Yeah,
what
and it's like you had everything fucking handed to you. You didn't have to worry about a fucking shootout in your street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I think that's what bothers like me the most about that whole kind of situation. Whatever. It's fine. I'm fine. How are you?
Oh my God! Don't do that again, please.
No. But yeah. At any rate, I hate mumble rap. But yeah. Oh, and back to the halftime show. It's funny. My brother and my dad and I went to a Dallas Stars game shortly thereafter the Super Bowl. And they did, like, I think it was after the second period, they did like an homage to it. But they actually used the footage from the Band Geeks episode.
I'm pretty sure you referenced this in one of your other episodes.
I did? Maybe I did. Yeah. I don't know. It was really cool. Like, they did it justice, and I'm like, yeah, that's right, because, NHL is a superior organization to the NFL. While I think football is a better sport than hockey, I think the NHL is much better ran, wholeheartedly. You should get into hockey. Please.
Okay, well, I think it'd be a lot easier for me to get into hockey, probably, than football, because hockey's a little bit less expensive.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get tickets for under, like, $30-$40.
I mean, just even trying to get nosebleed seats at any kind of
NFL game.
Game, especially Lord. Because we live in Texas, so going to a fucking Cowboys game, which I would not recommend unless it's a good opponent, then.
You mean like the New York Football Giants?
I was thinking more of the Saints.
They're not that good.
Oh, really? They're not that good?
As an organization, no. The Giants have 4 Super Bowls. New Orleans has 1.
Okay, yeah, but how did the New York Giants do last year?
Hey, look, it's a rebuilding season, all right? We're going to be better. We got big stones, Jones.
I pull for the Saints, and now I pull, and I think Dan pulls for KC to Kansas City.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I have a soft spot for Kansas City.
Yeah, I think we like it because it's, homeboy over here from White House around the corners.
I mean, like, and also, like, they play in the AFC. It's a really good competition for the Patriots. However, the defense was fucking trash.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Pat Mahomes is our age. He's 23 years old.
Makes me feel like a fucking loser.
He made it right before. He could have went to the Super Bowl last year, but
could have.
Don't get me going on that game. I was so pissed off. But I mean, can you imagine being 23 years old and the first time you were in the fucking NFL?
Well, it was the second year.
Was it his second year?
Yeah, because his rookie season, he only played for like 3 games, but he did phenomenal, and he played behind Alex Smith, who then later got traded to the Redskins, and he got his leg hurt.
Okay, but still, I mean, like...
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, his second year playing, his first year really starting.
First year starting on, and he's the first-string quarterback, okay? And you go all the way up to, right before the Super Bowl, and you're making what? How much is he making?
Well, actually, not that much, in terms, because... when you get signed on as a rookie, you don't get paid a whole lot. You're under like a 3 to 5 year deal.
Okay, but how much is he getting paid?
More than us.
Okay, yeah, but like let's give it a roundabout estimate.
I think it's like $500,000.
That's insane. Can you imagine being 23 years old and making that much fucking money?
Pipeliners do it.
Okay, well. Obviously.
Well, okay, maybe not 500,000, but I mean they're making stupid bank. It's crazy though because we know a guy who went to high school with Pat Mahomes, and like he knew him, just from being at school, and there's a Chick-fil-A in Tyler, which is like right on the way, and it's on the road that links Tyler to White House.
Oh, was it that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that.
And his mom was going up to Chick-fil-A, and then he was going up there with her, and he had to like put like a blanket over his head so people wouldn't notice him in the drive-thru, because otherwise he would probably just get assaulted. Not like try to beat him up. Yeah, he would just be bombarded, be like, "Oh my God, he's Pat Mahomes!" Probably something like, I mean, granted, like, okay, if, like, let's say we were, like, downtown New Orleans in the French Quarter, and, like, you know, like, oh, hey.
And I saw Drew Brees.
Yeah, like,
fucking
yeah, like, or, like, Drew Brees is fucking eat a donut, or, like, Alvin Kamara is just like, hey, man, what's up? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, way to go. Or, like, okay, if I was in New York City, and, like, Michael Strahan's walking to the, you know, Michael Strahan and Kelly walking on Michael Kelly and say, like, oh my gosh, Mr. Strahan, you sacked out Brady in the Super Bowl. You know, like, yeah, I'd lose my fucking shit. I would try not to.
Yeah.
I'd love to get a picture of Michael Strahan.
My goal in life is if I ever meet a celebrity or, like, see a celebrity in person that's trying to blend in, my goal is to act really nonchalant, be very cool, and just say, you know, like, nonchalant, like, hey, you're really, you know, famous and cool. Can I just get a quick autograph real quick? Like, pretend like I'm talking to them as, you know, just a regular conversation. Because I don't want to blow their cover because I want to think of them, but I also want to think of me.
That's true. And I think that's where the balance is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool people that I'd like to meet. A lot of people that are dead that I would have liked to have met.
For real.
Oh, well.
All the Ramones. I think one's still alive.
So 3 of the Ramones.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Oh, well. People out here really dying. And you see it all the time in a hospital.
Hush. It's been a hard month. A lot of young people.
Oof.
Yeah.
See, there was a woman came into work today, and she works at
yeah.
And she's
that my
yeah.
Oh shit, we probably shouldn't. Let's bleep that out later.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can probably do that. What time? Yeah, we can take care. Yeah, but yeah, she works at the hospital as well, and she's an RN. And then she was saying that we were talking about, like, yeah, man, I told her, I was like, I wouldn't want to work in a hospital. She's like, yeah, there's certain floors I don't want to work at. I was like, I could not work on, like, an ER floor, like, right where, like, patients ever coming in. I'm like, man, you see a lot of dead teenagers. You know what I mean? Like
really?
That.
See, and that's
I'm sure that you were just from, like, car accidents, like drunk driving, and just just general accidents.
Well, and, like, here's the thing. That's what Dan had asked me earlier when we were out to dinner. He said, you know, you wouldn't like to work in the ER. And I said, hell no, because I see people post-trauma. I see them after they've had their surgeries. Yeah, they have, like, an ORF, which is, like, you know, just this metal that is, you know, adhering your bone together, but it's also sticking out of your leg. So you see the equipment going into a person's leg. Now that shit doesn't bother me. But if I were to be, like, on the scene when this happens and, you know, like, their leg is snapped in two or a kid is dead or you know, like that, when it's life or death in the ER, which it tends to be at times, that's just a little too much. I think that post-trauma is better for me. Because even post-trauma afterwards sometimes is just a little bit too much because you see the emotional side of it, whether it's, you know, the patient or it's their family. You know, it's just a lot to deal with still.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. I give kudos to the people that do work in the emergency room.
So props to ER people. I won't ever work there.
Yeah.
I'm also not qualified to work there.
No.
I think, we're approaching an hour mark now. We're going to probably go ahead and wrap it up here. We were drinking, like I said, Cab Morgan Spice Rum. The original is really good. You can drink it neat. You can mix it with just about anything.
Dole. Dole is preferred.
Yeah, you can do it. Dole. She's been mixing it with pineapple.
Pineapple orange juice.
Yeah, pineapple, 100% pineapple orange juice in little Dole cans.
From concentrate.
You can do it with any kind of soda.
With added vitamins.
I was...
100%. Non-GMO verified.
Just going to read the can there.
Ooh, baby.
But I like it with ice. You can drink it neat. You can drink it on the rocks. You can drink it with something else. It's really good. Mai Tais. Mix white rum and dark rum.
Holy shit. Jake knows what happens to me on Mai Tais.
Yeah, she had 2 Mai Tais. She's like, I'll suck your dick in a parking lot. And I'm like, lady, I will take you up on that offer.
I didn't say that.
In my dreams, you did. Anyway, I think I'm just going to wrap it up about for the Whisky Dan radio show. Do you have anything to say off to the audience? Anything going on? Any things you have going on? Oh, speaking of which, I'm working on a short story. It might turn into a bit of a longer story. I don't know. I'm just having fun writing, so that might be coming out in a couple months here. So I'll let you know if it ever comes into fruition. It's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be about the emotion of emptiness and wanting a purpose. because I think everybody has that kind of feeling every once in a while. I think it's something that I could ride on. But anyway, do you have anything going on that you want to talk about?
Nope. Maybe a few last words. Is that okay?
Sure.
So for all those kiddos out there that just started school again, whether it's high school or college, it's okay. But just remember, skip class, smoke grass, and eat ass.
Yeah. Skip class, smoke grass, eat ass. Yeah, that's going to be it for the show. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to write into the show to suggest any kind of alcohol or spirit or beer for us to drink, you can write that in at whiskydanradio@gmail.com. You could send in that fan mail, and always, of course, we can get some feet pics, you know what I'm saying. Please send us your feet pics.
Please don't.
We want them.
No, he doesn't need them. I will delete them immediately.
Please.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and if you could, if you want to stay tuned for some more Whiskey Dan stuff, you can always subscribe to the channel here, and it'll send you a little dinger when we get a new episode up. Like I said at the beginning, buddy Eli, he's going to be posting this stuff on other podcast bases to try to just make it easier for people to listen to while they're driving or at work, so you don't have to go to YouTube. But the episodes will always be uploaded to YouTube first, and then in a couple days they will be put on the other sites as well. So I'll keep you posted on that as soon as when I know information more on it. But yeah, other than that, that's the Whiskey Dan radio show signing off.
Woo!
So, can I see them titties or what?